Welcome back. You're watching Focus on Africa. Now, journalists and human rights organizations have condemned the worsening state of press freedom in junta-led Burkina Faso. This follows a series of arrests of journalists in the country and the government's dissolution of the Journalists Association there. Now, on Monday, the association's president and vice president, along with one other journalist, were arrested for criticizing the government over its increased crackdowns on press freedom. Reporters in the country have reported intimidation, violence and arrests since the military took over in 2022. Last year, 3 journalists were forced into military service and another journalist's whereabouts remained unknown. Earlier, I spoke to Mr. Sadiru Marong, the director for Sub-Saharan Africa at Reporters Without Borders, about the impact of these cases of journalists' intimidation.
That means, unfortunately, that we are more and more going towards what we can consider as a full frontal attacks on press freedoms, which will, if the world is not mobilizing against all these, what the junta is doing in Burkina Faso, it will lead indefinitely toward the end of press and the end of independent press in Burkina Faso, as we have seen.
Is this decision representative of the junta's attitude towards press freedom in Burkina Faso? What's your sense? What has the junta been saying?
This current junta, led by Captain Ibrahim Traore, they said, I mean, they are the worst, among the worst, let's put it like that. And this junta is the junta which was being developing circumscription to journalists into the army. This junta is the junta which is, trying to develop economic pressure into the media. This junta is the junta which has been developing disinformations going through media, going through Russians by some of their Russian partners. This junta is the junta which is actually also trying to put more and more pressure so as to to control the narrative which is coming from the independent media. This junta is finally the junta which has been banned all international media and prevented international correspondents to go to Ouagadougou and to do their job independently.
What was it like previously? What was the state of press freedom like, prior to some of these developments?
Before these juntas, Burkina Faso has been a beacon and a haven of press freedom in West Africa and in Africa. For journalists in Burkina Faso were among the best in West Africa. Media in Burkina Faso were among the most, independent media in Burkina Faso in West Africa, and the landscape was very rich. And it is the country where, it has only country in West Africa where you can see a festival, an international festival, freedom of expression. Burkina Faso has been the country of one of the very famous journalists like Norbert Zongo, who has been a very crucial investigative journalist. And Burkina Faso now is also the country which is still hosting the Center of Investigative Journalists in West Africa, which is a very, very, very brilliant center.
To wrap this up, are there African countries that have improved more broadly in terms of expanding press freedom?
Those countries, most of the time, and in the last four years, are the countries which are, at the top of the, World Press Freedom Index, like Cape Verde, for example. I mean, we have seen also how the situation has improved improved in other countries. Like Namibia has been doing very well despite some small problems. Seychelles also, so I mean Mauritius and so even though Mauritius also has been hit by some difficulties, but in a nutshell, they are good, good students or good people, good examples. But they are, very bad examples, like we have seen with countries like Burkina Faso.